fly. 10 seconds. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Hello. Hello.
Hello, everybody. How have we been doing?
Daniel. Oh, I've been doing fine.
One of these days, Alex is going to remember what he's actually supposed to be doing.
Alex always knows what he's doing. Usually nothing, but he knows what he's
Well,
doing.
this is true, yeah. Reading a book or something, I don't know. You'd almost think you could read, wouldn't you?
Oh.
In all fairness, I'm from Scotland. We know you can't even read this good King's English. Keep going to say Queen's English, but King's English.
Oh, I keep forgetting to.
Aye.
In
Scotland,
in fairness, the dear old Queen was around for quite a long time.
That's true.
Yeah. But she's still on what, £20 note, £50 note, and
I still got the coins, getting the coins, and if you get one that's actually got a male's face, you go, oh.
Is that real?
Because I was laughing, because I was saying to my mother-in-law, I says, it's going to be weird because obviously my whole life had the Queen, and the idea of having another monarch, she says, the Queen was my second monarch. So she was born when her father was on the throne for a few years, and so this is her third monarch. So you realise that, I might feel old, but I'm obviously not the oldest, and it means it makes no difference.
It's going to be a long time since we have a Queen probably come back to the throne again.
That's true.
Yeah, maybe.
Well,
although I think the monarchy should have remained matriarchal, because you look at all the ones for the last few hundred years, the two who lasted the longest and seemed to have the most respect were Victoria and Elizabeth.
Yeah.
That's true.
All the other ones, yes, you had Bertie and stuff like that, and they had
Edward
skeletons in their closet that people seem to have known about, and it made no difference, but they didn't last that long anyway, because they either were on the puff and it basically did them, or else they were constantly screwing around, and everybody seemed to know about it. But the two seem to have the longest reign and the most respect for considering the long reign is Victoria and Elizabeth. I think it should have been Anne after that.
Well, I think Anne thinks it should have been Anne.
Well, aye, in all fairness, but
yeah,
it's the way it had always been, has been always the oldest male, but they did change that, and it was the oldest child.
Yep.
So he still didn't actually qualify. So even I was a good Queen's man, but I'm not necessarily a good King's man.
Oh no.
No. But well, considering these carbuncle thingies that goes at Kirkintilloch in the past, where he called their shopping centre a carbuncle when it was built. In all fairness, it fucking looks shite. But that's not the point. It was Scottish. But it's just one of those things. I hate politics, and the Queen was never political. And even if she was, she never overtly showed it.
Yeah. Is he Charles III of Scotland as well? Is he a different regular number for Scotland?
I think it's the same. I think after James, So it was the James the Second of Scotland and James the First of England, I believe.
It was
The
six,
first one who,
six, wasn't he? Six
Aye,
was
Yeah.
first, I
I
think.
think he was a 6.
well, six, but he was the first of
Yeah, first, yeah.
James the First of Scotland,
Yeah.
and that was the first king of Britain, as it were. However, I think what they did was, because it became a united nation at the time, they're all standard now. So it's not
Yeah.
different in Scotland and
Oh,
England.
actually, yeah, because I think what they've done is they standardised it for whichever's the higher one. So had there been a King Charles of Scotland, he would be Charles IV, not Charles III.
Yeah.
I'm getting it the wrong way around again. Yeah, I get this case about some minor discalculia where I get my maths the wrong way around. Yeah, it would have been that way around rather than the other.
Actually, it's actually not English succession or Scottish succession. It's British succession. We are still one nation.
Mm.
Yeah, and if you go back in the history, it's
Four
quite
countries,
complicated.
but one nation. Four countries, but one nation. And people seem to forget that, because we were talking about it. Because there's a lot of Scottish flags all over the place, and it's the Scottish flags are on as you drive down the road. All the Scottish flags, and it's all to be proud of Scotland, said the SNP, who basically tell you that you're no worth it because you were born here.
Said the
But-
SNP whose idea of independence was break from the UK and become a vassal state of Europe.
That's the ones that basically.
Interesting idea of
To
independence.
me, the way I looked at it was, it's turning around and saying, I want my independence, so I'm leaving my mummy and daddy's house and I'm going to my granddad's house. That's basically what it felt like. So
I would have said it's worse than that. It's typical European maths. We're going to move away from being 1/4 from 1 in 4. I mean, relevant size is a big side point as an entity. 1 in 4 entities in Great Britain to being 1 in 27 and having no voice.
Exactly, and that's
Way
basically the
too
way I
good.
looked at it.
That
That's
makes
why
you
I was
so much more
basically.
powerful,
I
isn't
used
it?
to be SNP supporter in my youth, a long time ago. I understand,
And
but
you're right.
once they said it is a one in a generation vote, and as soon as the vote went against them,
We want another one.
I believe in democracy. So, in effect, I was one of the 45. I voted for Scotland to stay as part of Britain, right? And they turns around and goes, we can always do it again in 5 years. Sorry, that's not a generation. Somebody actually no taught you English, or maths in school. Considering Scotland, basically their education system in maths was quite impressive. Considering, however, you still can't actually count what a generation is, even though you says it was once in a generation.
But you're missing the point. It's standard European politics.
Exactly.
We'll give you a choice. Okay, wrong answer. Try again.
Yeah.
They did
And
it
that's
3
basically what it
times.
is. But as soon as they actually decided that, even though I disagreed with certain things, as soon as they said was, well, that doesn't count, we want another one. Sorry, that is not the way it works. You cannot turn around and say, we're going to keep doing it until we get to the vote we want. And that's why a lot of people in Scotland who the SNP their votes are going downhill. Alex Salmond, Nicola Sturgeon, the other, even Swinney at the moment, and basically they're just more and more. Yeah.
But to be
But
fair,
they're in
the
effect
voting in
taking all
the
the money we put in
2010s
taxes
era,
and actually spending it.
the voting in the 2010s era in the entire United Kingdom did not really go the way the politicians thought it was going to go.
No.
They really thought that they had it all and thought that we were going to get exactly what they wanted and the approval. But nope, that did not happen.
I know. I'm just agreeing to.
I may know speak and I can smell Alex's dislike of politics from here because I know he's a great fan of talking.
It's not politics, it's Scotland. Never disagree with Scotland.
There's a difference.
I'm reading that. what M&M's
Num,
going
num,
out.
num, 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 num. I'm agreeing with them because them num,
Yeah.
num, 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 num.
Yeah, agreed.
I've got my,
Yeah,
I've still got my Union Jack sitting there. My Union Jack is still flying in the corner of my man cave.
Oh,
So
I said I'll go for that, but actually, if people start complaining about the cross and fine, okay, fine. Screw you guys. You're far too modern for me. I'll go back to flying. I'll go back to flying the 3 Leopards Couchant.
oh yes.
Yep. I'll go back
in,
to
in,
flying.
in all
the
in all
frickin'
fairness,
living dragon, right?
everybody understood that, considering 3 lions on our shirts was
Yes.
one of the number one
Yeah, that's
music.
what they are. Yeah, heraldically
Aye.
speaking.
I know
they're
you weren't the 3 lions, but people
Yeah.
actually just automatically said
they're known as the 3 lions, but heraldically
there's
they're
only
leopards.
one lion in Britain, the rampant
And that's
lion
yours.
of Scotland.
Yep.
But then again, Scotland's a wee bit weird, considering our national animal is the unicorn.
Which is true, yeah.
Yeah.
The national animal of Scotland is the unicorn.
Where did that
Really?
go?
Howard Reed, you've obviously never been on a stream that I've been on before.
Well, Chris, I've actually, I would agree with you there, Colin, but I'm aware of some of the weird and wonderful things.
Well, the Welsh have got a dragon.
Well, exactly, the
about to say
dragon.
exactly that. Yeah,
I'm not denying the lion
It's
rampant
not
is such a fantastic symbol. However, the dragon it trumps them all. You know what I mean?
That'd be a tough one to eat, a deep fried unicorn.
My little dragon, my little Welsh dragon.
I've still got.
In all fairness, I know people as big as Tolkien have said that they lamented the fact that these islands do not have much in terms of mysticism or mythology.
Oh, that's
But
the Normans.
I really beg to differ. Just look at the flags: unicorns, dragons, what have
Yeah.
you. Great mythical quests and heroes and villains, everything from Lady in the Lake to Robin Hood, all of that.
You forgot what we are, Wallace. Talking about English mythology.
Well, you see, it's kind of memory hole because of that whole film thingy from the Australian dude.
Well, to be fair, a lot of the okay. I refer everybody to a stream of ours about 4 years ago now. A lot.
I remember it.
A lot of the. I saw that look, PJ. All I was going to say is, you say that, Jim. A lot of the Arthurian mythology actually comes from Wales as well. A lot of it is actually.
A lot of it is Welsh.
A lot of it's Welsh.
Yeah.
Or at least from the borders.
And in all fairness, I remember Wendy not telling us about it. But and anyway, deep fried unicorn is lovely.
You fiend.
Why do you think they're so rare?
The Scottish are eating them all.
It's Scotland, of course, it's deep fried.
Deep fried, we'll have anything deep fried. Bring out your dead. That's an old joke. That's basically one. But yeah.
Along with the phoenix.
Oh dear.
Now, do you want to answer that one, Jim? And try not to swear too much.
2 out of 3.
Well, I can swear
wrong
in Viking or Norseman. So many different angles to take. But I can say that what BBC is trying to say is that it is technically not wrong, because Viking is an activity. It's not a race. It's not a heritage. It's not a location.
You go a Viking. You aren't a Viking. You go a Viking.
Yeah,
exactly.
Well, that's. I
But
didn't know that.
I would not be surprised if there
I thought
are
it was
some
pillaging.
kind of. Go ahead, Miranda.
that's what I said.
Basically, Jim just wanted to cut it down. So instead of
Oh,
pillaging, it was basically just Viking. It was easier.
yeah.
Yeah.
You learn something new.
But
Right, yeah.
okay. But us Norsemen is technically the Swedes, the Norwegian, and the Danish. The Icelandics might have a word, and they might actually come over on Viking boats and all of that stuff
Scandinavians.
and correct us a little bit. So it is a bit tricky because the Vikings or the Norsemen that went the Viking, they got around quite a lot.
Yeah, but
It's the same idea as the Celts. Scots are Celts, Irish are Celts, but you also had
Cornish.
other Celtics, which are the you had.
Quinnics, the Bretons.
So basically, the Gauls were a relation to the Celts as well because the way it came round the system, but the names change. It's but in effect, it's one of those things. Different cultures have different ideas of how it all came about. Obviously, the Scots know it's best, but that's me. That's just me saying it. But then again, what you going to do? Ban me from the next stream?
So what would you do with your freedom, PJ?
Believe it or not, my plans over the next few months is to get away from the computer. Once all the decorations and all that is all finished,
Freedom.
getting a caravan and freedom. So weekends away,
Oh,
no internet, no computer sitting in front of me, digging out all these books behind me that I've every time I go to sit and read a book, I end up watching something, or I've got something to do in the house and that something's on in the background, or I'm listening to an audiobook because I'm doing this and so I decided no, what to do. So in my future caravan where we could just go away for a weekend and just relax, get a couple out of my comics, my books, and just catch up with my reading. That's
it's
what
perfect
my plan
caravan
is for the
summer
future.
weather for you coming in right now. So
Don't care if it's the only thing it would stop us is the snow stopping us getting to the caravan. Rain in the caravan.
have you got a
Scotland.
caravan then?
Not yet. We're looking for them. We've been looking for a few months, but
What static?
Static, yes.
Yeah.
There ain't no way I'm doing it.
there's
No.
no way of driving stuff like that around in the UK.
I'm what they call is a lazy bastard. And so I just want to actually drive up and go in. I don't want to actually unhitch, clip, but no, I just want to
So
go to a static.
you mean a holiday
The
home?
static one we're looking at, the caravan site, beautiful site. Believe it or not, it's not that far from where I stay, so it's like less than half an hour drive, but it's in the middle of the valley and it's the countryside all around you. We're in a small village, so we're not too far from all that. But the idea of you're away, the internet's no great, which means no taking the iPad and all that and sitting watching stuff. I could take all my comics, all my books, and just relax and
The
catch up.
caravan's tilting.
They can't remember the amount of books. I mean, the last time I went down to the car boot sale, apart from like the Marty McFly and bits and pieces and the wee cases, the wee display cases, I got a load of Commando comics.
Wow.
So I did, and I got some The Flash, Justice League of America, Justice League of Europe, which I don't know any of the characters in. I've not even read them yet. I got them. And I got a couple of other ones that they're mid stories, so it's not like a run. It's just ones that I'd never even heard of, and I thought, oh, I'll pick that up. So I'm looking forward to seeing what the comics are like, see if I recognise any of the heroes in it, and see what it's like. Plus, I've got 2 or 3 Judge Dredd compendium to go through as well, because I've got them and I've just flicked through them. I've just read 1 or 2 of the stories here and there. I want to read them all. And that's what my plans are over the next few months, to get a caravan. But it could be 6 months before we decide what one we want to get, something like that. But that's my plans for the future, and I need to work towards that. I get away from the computer because I'm on it from 8 in the morning till midnight, 7 days a week.
I can see that. Yeah, I haven't read as much as I should for a long time, and I just picked up my Kindle the other day, and I actually got into a book for 20 pages. Hey.
Well, see, my magazines is basically the nearest I get to reading is, surprise, surprise, metal detecting magazines. So I'm catching up on them. That one's upside down. That's the right way up. It's the other one that was upside down. So I'm catching up on these, but they're easy reading. They're just basically talking about digs, and I'm doing a lot of research on my metal detecting, the lands and stuff. And I'm trying to get away from just constantly being at the machine.
Yeah.
Over the last few months, the amount of work I've been doing kept me away, and that I think is sort of made it highlight the fact that I used to spend so much in front of the computer.
Mhm.
So that's why we're looking at things like the caravan to get away, just because the amount of time I used to spend. Even it started during COVID. That's why I started the channel. Is I was working from home, as we all were, and I was literally 7 days a week, 8 in the morning till midnight. Sometimes I was sitting in front of my computer, either working or doing just on YouTube,
Oh God.
whatever. And it's just, and that's never really stopped, apart from when I used to go, I was working and I would wake up, check all my emails and stuff like that, drive up to work, do my work, and come back down, sit in my room in front of the computer again. And I think I've got into I've got into a rut that I need to get out of.
Yeah,
So.
that was one of the good things when we met up and started doing this thing. Is all of the books, the comics, a lot of what the stuff we were talking about in the beginning. There were TV shows and everything. She was still stuck in front of a screen. I made a conscious effort of not keeping watching on my computer screen. I actually put it up on my projector so I could see it on a big home cinema screen, so to speak, just to move away from the computer and not be tempted to click on a Twitter link or see whatever everybody else were up to on Facebook or Instagram and all those places.
Yeah.
It was quite stressful during lockdown because you really couldn't get away from the screen no matter how much you tried, unless you really made a conscious effort of it. And I think
and
that's
basically
that for me.
it's bled because we've never really recovered from that because we're so used to doing everything online. Instead of nipping to the shops, we go Amazon or Temu or then it's getting to the point. That's why I thought I need to get away. The time, and don't get me wrong, I loved the channel. Still love doing it occasionally, but I'm not going to do anything live because I think the Wednesday stream and the Saturday stream started to feel like homework and not just a pastime. So that's why the Wednesday stream sort of died, because I felt as if I needed to watch certain things, and then by the Saturday stream I needed to catch up on other things to talk about, because it was a case of it was starting to become homework. Hence the reason why I went on to a break, because it was burning me out.
Yeah, this was the same here. It was burning me out as well, because I had a job that could literally call you up at 7 o'clock in the evening and say, "Oh crap, this computer is not doing what it should be doing."
My work was like that for such a long time, but my company got bought over, and suddenly I went from being the IT manager to just being one of the IT support. And the guy above me, he had all that. So I was basically working 9 to 5. So it made my life a lot simpler. Then they obviously got the opportunity. They were downgrading, and it was me and one of the other guys. The other guy was a lot younger. He had a young family. He had a mortgage and everything. Whereas I'm old. I'm at the end. I paid my mortgage off, and I'm happy. My wife maybe not so much, but I'm happy. But it's things like that. It's so I thought maybe now I've got the time, but typically when I started, so you're talking about last November, so it's not even a year, and I felt as if I just dragged right back into that every minute of every day back on the computer, and I thought,
no,
it's not.
So I got dragged away from it gradually, and it was good to get away from it. Can't deny it. I hated the I'm no one for DIY and stuff like that. I despise
I'm
that.
terrible at it.
I'm absolutely useless at it. My brother and my dad, yeah, my dad, really good at it. My brother, really good at it. Me, I used to be their labourer. I was that bad at it. But it's the idea of even doing that, because I've got the time. I could sit and paint, even if it's a wee teeny paintbrush, to make sure I don't make any mistakes. The whole hall, or a wee teeny roller, or whatever. But I've got the time. I didn't like it, and it was always an excuse to get away. But it got me away from the computer, and it felt as if the stress levels of I'm sitting in front of that all the time, is that just going to drag me in and in and in to the point where I'm a vegetable sitting in?
Yeah. Last time I did any decorating, I did wallpapering, and my ex-wife looked at it and goes, "What you've done there should be classed as a crime against humanity."
I'm absolutely saying nothing, because
terrible.
I am I'm talking about younger. So before my kids were born, first flat, with my ex now, I put the paper up, and within 3 months it started peeling off. Do you know what I did to put it up? Thumbtacks.
Staple. Oh,
thumbtacks. I basically put tacks up to keep it in. I was that bad. I could have got my dad to go and come and do it, but no. I didn't want Daddy going to come and help me. I just stapled. I just literally thumbtacks. Stuck them up with thumbtacks, and you could see it peeling off the wall down from the tacks at the top. It wasn't the funnest thing, but I've been that bad ever since.
I can't.
And I'm aware of it. Yeah, you know what I mean, so it's the same as replacing door handles. It's all been painted. The door handles, the old door handles were painted round before. So I decided, just instead of having to actually take them off, scrape it all down, paint it, I painted because I thought I'm replacing those handles anyway, and then realised that I need to get handles that are the same size or bigger.
Yeah.
So I ended up looking for the exact same handles, but instead of brass, silver. And I got them. So I need to take them all off, just so I didn't need to actually take them all off, scrape them, sand it down, and put them on. I just painted round it.
You should have just got some silver paint. Just paint the door handles.
No. Do you know why? That's painting again.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that's
You just
something
rattle can.
Yeah.
I did that for the radiators. Radiator paint. Basically, there was a choice: a tin of radiator paint or a can of radiator paint. I'll have that, please. It's done. Hey, but it's things like that. I'm useless at it, and with that doesn't help because I'm right-handed. So putting in screws, try to do things left-handed with it, even with an electronic screwdriver. You've got to press it, and you're pressing the wrong button because you're used to certain ways. So I'm unscrewing instead of screwing in, and I'm sitting there thinking, making the hole goes in effect, and it's things like that. So I'm useless in the best of times, but useless and a dodgy arm just makes it look as if the dogs have done the work, and I've not. So,
well, I do like the idea of an impact driver. You just put the screw in.
Aye, well, that's basically I've got 3 different types, because if it needs to be something like it's time yet, I've got a bigger thing that I can put together.
Yeah,
it's a bit heavy, but at least puts together. But if it's just something it's quick, it's a straight one, and if it's something that's a wee teeny bit of pressure, I've got the curved one that I could actually put a wee bit of pressure. But all of them have to be one-handed and left. I can use with my left hand. Still go all over the place, but I'm trying to get away from the fact that, and that took me away from the computer. And although I hated it, it was quite good because it gave me a bit more freedom, as somebody said in the chat. I'm trying to remember. I think it was in num. It said it somewhere. Anyway, but that's what the idea is, to get away from the computer. And that's what my plans are for the next 6 to 8 months. It could take about 6 months to get the caravan in the place that I want, because we have seen other caravans, different locations.
Mhm.
Got my heart set in this wee one. It's a private site, so it's not one that people will rent out all the caravans around you. So
Yeah.
it's mainly, they're all static, and it's people's for them or their family. So, and that's what we're looking for. Something that we could have, and if my sister comes and visits, or my friends come down from up north, they can stay there, give them a wee bit of privacy while they're visiting. And it gets me away weekends, away from the computer. At least it might be only 2 days, but 2 days to do things like read
Yeah.
and stuff like that. That's what my plans are, and I'm trying to actually be a good boy about it. Even though I just bought
You'll
all
have to
9
take it.
seasons
Yeah.
of Allo Allo to watch again. All 9 seasons of Allo Allo charity shop.
9 seasons. Did it really go for that long?
It
Yeah.
did 9
Bloody
seasons,
hell.
and I bought all them today. £12 for the whole series.
Not
So
bad.
that's what I've got to watch. That's my next thing. So the way things are going, if I sit and watch them, that'll take me probably about 2-3 months because of the time frame.
How many
But
are there
if they're
per
on in the
season?
background,
How many per season?
I think there was about 8.
Mm.
Oh no! Wait a minute. Disc 1 has got 2, 4, 5. This 2, 2, 4, 6, and 2, 3. So that is 12, 13, 14 episodes, and that is for
Wow.
season 8 and 9. But there is also a couple of things extra on the discs as well. So you're talking about probably about 6 episodes per season based on that.
It all seemed to run into one, though. From what
Yes, I think that's what it is.
Mm.
It's the same as this one here, season 6 and 7. There was 2, 4, 6, 8 in that one, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 in that one. So 6 had 8 episodes, and 7 had 10 episodes, and probably one of them was a Christmas episode or something like that.
Did they ever release Secret Army as DVDs?
Yes.
I was going to say yes,
I'd like to
but
see that.
I've not got them. No, I've not got them. But I know Colin would have had them. He would have probably had them in VHS.
Not quite. I've got my DVD somewhere, I think.
So that's basically my new watching. But the way things are going, because I've got other things on and stuff like that, it's going to take me a wee while to catch them. And then there's all the typical stuff. I've still got boxes to unpack to put on because I've had to go through and I buy stuff and I've got no space for it. So I need to reorganize, which means that other stuff comes off the shelf and I've no space for that. So it goes to either nephew or charity shop or friends. And
Yeah.
Well, soon
terrible.
you'll have a caravan to put it in.
No. My wife says no. She
No.
says if I put even one thing in, my man cave's getting moved down to the caravan and that's my new home. And I said, no, thank you. I'll stay where I am. Nothing will go down there with me except comics and books.
Well,
I'll
not
be
even a
born.
TV and DVD player.
I've got. See, that's the thing as well. We'll have the TV, unlike to have a DVD player, just for the simple fact is to get away from it. We're going to go down. My wife, she'll take her laptop if she's got any work to do, but it will cut out all her emails she has to answer, a lot of the texts and WhatsApp, because the internet's a bit spotty at best. So it'll cut out all that. So if she's got work to do, she could do it in the piece of just doing the work without all the interruptions. The last 3 times we went for a meal, she's had to step out because she's been getting texts and emails. And that's, you're talking about at night. So she's really busy. And the caravan would get us away from that because no internet, no thing, so texts and stuff like that. We'll get texts and phone calls, but you're not going to get WhatsApp, you're not going to get email, and you can just relax. You can return it once you return, you can deal with it. So it's things like that. It will get us away, and we don't want the TV there just to distract us, except when Strictly comes on and she wants to watch that. Like her and my sister are sitting through there watching Strictly at the moment. You never catch me watching TV.
Mm.
But apart from that,
Like the only thing I watch on TV at all, and I don't watch it on
it's
TV.
Cadfael.
No, because I'm doing Cap on them. Actually, thank you for reminding me. It should be a new Sister Boniface I haven't seen yet. Sister
I
Boniface.
have. I've seen it. I've seen the Sister Boniface.
I think
Was that
there's one
season
for
3?
4.
Four.
Season 4 now. Yeah. So I think
it
there should have been one out since the last one I saw. But there's that. But there's, as you said, Death in Paradise and Beyond Paradise. That's about the only things I think I watch on the entirety.
I've never seen
Well,
that ever.
Death in Paradise is good.
All right.
It starts off Ben Miller.
Mm-hmm.
Ben Miller is the fish out of water in the Caribbean. Danny John Jules is one of the police officers.
Oh.
One of the other police officers was the girl from Being Human. Was the one about the vampire, the ghost, and
Oh yeah, I like that. Yeah.
the girl in that.
The ghost.
The ghost. She
Yeah.
was in the episode as well. So there was a few British faces you recognised. Don Warrington plays the commissioner.
Yeah.
So you've got that, and so he's a fish out of water, and it obviously with him being there, and it gets extended when he's still the fish out of water for the number of seasons he's done it. Once he decided to leave, somebody else came in. It was Chris Marshall.
Yeah,
was
the
the
one
next
from My
one in.
Family or Family. Yeah.
And he's when he left.
One of the
They
two
did a
people who should have been the
spin-off
next
because-
Doctor after
Aye, they were
Peter
talking about
Capaldi.
that, but Chris Marshall, when he left the show because he wanted to come back to Britain because obviously they're down in the Caribbean filming because he had a family, so he's back. But he's now doing Beyond Paradise, which is a spin-off of his detective, but in a small rural village in, I think it's England. It's not Wales, so it must be
It's out of Devon or Cornwall, I think.
Devon or Cornwall. Aye, so it's down by the coast. That's the thing. So Beyond Paradise, there's 3 seasons of that, which is good.
I think so, yeah.
Must admit, Chris Marshall's good at it. But after Chris Marshall, it was Adrian O'Hanlon.
Chris Marshall,
Arnaud
Ardler Hanlon. Then it was
Ralph Little,
Ralph Little.
and
now
then it's I don't
Crikey.
Don Ellis. Oh, he was the guy who was in EastEnders. I think he played the nasty piece of work, according to my wife when she saw him. I can't remember his name.
I
Don
must admit,
something or other. Don Ellis, for some reason, sticks in my mind, but I don't know who that is. So, but it's up to 14 seasons, and it's good.
Wow.
There is one or two wee stinkers here and there because, but on the whole, it is good. I quite enjoyed it. Danny John Jules has been in it most of the way, a lot of the way through.
I think
Don Warrington's been in it the whole way through.
Yep.
He's the commissioner from the start.
Don
to the
Warrington
finish.
and Elizabeth Bourguignon are the only two who've been in it since first
Been in the
episode.
whole time. Elizabeth Bourdain plays the mayor, cafe owner, mother of one of the early detectives. So, but it's good. So I would recommend Death in Paradise, but definitely starting from the beginning.
Yeah.
I was never a fan of Father Dougal. He just
Never saw it.
his tenure was never great for me, but it's because his character I think just didn't gel well. However, as Julie can contest when she sees the same, I was never a fan of Ralph Little. I loved him in 2 Pints of Lager.
Oh, that's going
But
back.
I was never a fan of his character because it just seemed he's dead quirky, he's germophobic, he's this and he's that, and it annoyed me. But
They all
stick with it, so I did, and he got a lot better, and his character did change, so he wasn't the same fish out of water the way he was. And then when they left, then I'm sure it's Don Ellis, but he's in it. But it's still
Come
good.
on, producer. You're not doing anything. Look it up on IMDb. That's in
I know
Paradise.
he's meant to be the producer
He's
in
meant to be the
charge of the
producer,
show.
yeah.
We're talking about a character, but none of us know the name of the actor,
I
and
don't
he's
know.
sitting there going,
I'm looking at Paradise now.
"Aye, who's the most recent one? Don what?
Don Gillett.
Gillett.
Don Gillett.
See, I nearly got it. I says Don Ellis, but it's Gillett. So the letters were there. They were just not necessarily in the right order.
Or the right number of them, yeah.
The actual.
He played Lance Bennett in The Runaway Bride. So
He also was in EastEnders or
did he?
something like that. Or,
EastEnders, Holby City,
aye,
The
but
Bill.
I would definitely recommend Death in Paradise and Beyond Paradise. The two of them are good. So you've got 14 seasons, roughly 6 or 7 episodes per season, or 8 episodes, I think, maybe. But
Does anyone remember
it is good. Definitely watch that. However, Sister Boniface. It's a spin-off from Father Brown.
Ah,
The new Father Brown with oh God, his name's just disappeared.
Him that played Rory's dad.
Mark?
Mark Williams.
Yes, it.
Yeah.
Mark Williams. So he
Yeah.
played Father Brown. Then there was a sort of spin-off, and it's only because it's a sister. There wasn't really, they could have actually not even related it to,
Oh.
and just had it as a different one. So
he was in the Fast Show.
Yeah,
Yes, that is a brilliant.
Right.
I've been mostly been eating.
that's the one, yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
you've also
how
got
many
the,
clips in that?
Right?
Was he in Red Dwarf as well?
Yes.
he was one of
as-
the three.
Oh,
We
was he
beat the
Peterson?
tide.
That's it. Yeah,
So aye.
the
Peterson?
very first episode.
Yes, he was, and he was on the one when they found the dwarf again, and the nanites had rebuilt everything and
Actually,
everybody.
wasn't in that one.
Eh?
He was busy at the time. He wasn't in that one. Red
Oh.
Wolf 8. He was
No,
mentioned.
but I suppose they mentioned him about Chen and Shelby.
Yeah.
I think he played Shelby in it,
I thought
but he was
Peterson.
also Rory's dad in Doctor Who.
Mhm.
So
And it
and
was,
if you want to see something he was good in, it's the one about the aliens.
Which one about the aliens? There's been a few.
It's the one about the aliens. I'll need to find it.
is it a TV show?
Uh-huh.
The one was Alien.
It's an
No,
old
that's a new
one.
one. It's,
This something. It was the something.
no,
The Strangerers. The Strangerers. There is some clips of the Strangerers on the chat on my channel, but the Strangerers, it's about plant aliens having to learn to act like humans. So they're basing it on like old 70s, old 50s movies. So like they're all dressed like with the hat and the suit and all that, and things like a female personage need to take hat off because that's what they do in the movies, and they have to learn how to walk. So you've got
Yeah.
you've got him and the one from
Jack Doherty.
Jack Doherty, but I'm trying to remember what Jack was in.
Red
He
Dwarf.
was in.
he's
No. Jack Doherty. It was one of his first one he did. It was the two of them, Jack Doherty and the wee guy with the ginger hair. Odd something or other.
I'd need to see a pic probably too, because I'm not that good with names.
Anyway, Jack Doherty, and then you also had see that crazy stand up, the one who's the crazy stand up with the hair? It's all over the place.
Oh, Milton Jones. Milton Jones.
Milton
I like
Jones.
him.
He's in it as well, but you've also got David Williams is in it, and stuff like that. So they appear here and there. The Strangers. To me, it's one of the funniest, weirdest comedies because it's about them learning to be human with
Was
no
that-
concept of what human is.
Wasn't there a radio series called that as well? Science fiction.
It could have actually come from that.
Yeah.
But this is all about them learning how to walk and stuff like that, and how to talk to people. And one Milton Jones, he basically, his character dies early on, and they're propping him up. It's like thing midnight. It's like Bernie's. You know what I mean? They're dragging him around, and his head is taped on and stuff like that. So they drag him around a lot of the place until he gets better, because I've got no concept of stuff like that. But it is really good. The Strangers things.
Yeah, I'll have to keep an eye out for that one as well.
I would definitely. It's but
another for the list.
I know it is, but so we were talking about Father Brown, and that's where it went to. It's spiraled off. But so from Father Brown, there was the spin-off, which is Sister Boniface, which apart from one or two bits, because she has got a wee flight of fancy, so every so often you get the wee bits with her idea of what's happening. They did a 60s Batman one.
Oh, that was fantastic.
Foxman and Badger. Biff.
Yeah.
And
I think that was the last one I saw. No, the last one I saw was one about the fashion show. But
yes,
I like Sister Boniface a great deal.
I quite enjoy Sister Boniface. I think the one that plays Sister Boniface is actually quite good. She fits it quite well.
But I was a bit disappointed when Miranda Razor left, because she was quite the best looking character in it, shall we say? But at the end of season one, I do. It is. I'm not sure. I think
she played the leadership, didn't she?
No, she played the reporter. She was the reporter stroke probable girlfriend of the inspector.
Yeah,
but
I love the other nuns. The one,
they're fantastic.
The one that's always trying to sell the booze, and the one that she was a bit of a belief and stuff like that in her past.
I mean, I'm seriously tempted. One of these days, I'm going to have to see if Father Miller's ever seen Sister Boniface. I don't think he has. I'm not sure he'd like. I'm not sure how he'd take it.
I don't know. It's not as if
I honestly, I genuinely don't know.
It's disrespectful. It's just that you've obviously got one of the nuns who is very naive. Then you've got the other one who was a wheeler and dealer in her past. She was a bit of she liked her drink. Then you've got the Mother Superior, who's an old battle axe.
Oh yeah.
Then you've got Sister Boniface.
They've got a backstory for each one of them.
They've all got backstories, and the good thing is, even though the battle axe and the thing, they all actually, as a community, it actually works really well. So I think Sister Boniface is actually quite good.
I find it. I do find sometimes my diversity sense is set up a bit too high for something. Oh Lord, come on! Not in 1960s Britain, but they explained it. But the one thing that did stick out for me, I'm afraid, and it stuck out for me because it's sort of semi-close to personal. It's said in the 1960s, right? 1960s. One of the characters, one of the adult male, one of the reporter guys, was a thalidomide victim, and that's fine. No blame on the actor whatsoever, except for the fact that he would have been about the same age I would have been at the time. Thalidomide was only a thing in the 60s, so he would not have been. I don't think they actually made it for it, but it was
he was the reporter, and it just it seemed out of it. But then again, there's other parts that plays quite well. So like the detective that is meant to get posted to London, and ends up, and he's a colour guy, and he just plays it so naive initially, and then as he grows into it, it works well because he grows. You don't. That's the thing. It's not a case of this and that happens and this and that. It's just basically his character grows because you see him. He's bewildered. He's no idea what's happening because all these. He was expecting to go to a big metropolis, and he ends up in a wee rural village, and he's dealing with a nun, and it's it works. And even things like the landlady who dislikes him from straight off until she finds out he's religious. He's very religious, and suddenly he's the favourite, and the detective sergeant can do what he's told and stuff like that. And it's basically, you can imagine that. It's a case of, I don't like these, foreigners. And then he gets brought in. And it's basically because
Now you've got me going.
one thing, and then suddenly he's the one that is her favourite. And even though she can't cook to save herself, they're always being nice to her. Because you can imagine in their community, that's what they would do. They wouldn't actually turn around and say, we're not having any of your muck. They would just sort of, aye, thank you, we'll take it with us. And stuff like that. So it's actually quite a good community throughout it. There is one or two bits that sticks out, but it's like the same in, remember, Heartbeat?
Yeah.
It was the same idea when they was wearing the cape, which they never brought into until about 3 years after the TV show was meant to be.
Yeah, I mean,
they used to have the cape, but he had the trench coat, which they never brought in because it used to be the cape they wore at the time when this was meant to be filmed.
Well, they did. I mean, I first saw the first episode, Sister Boniface, and they had the sergeant came in. I thought, oh, here we go again. Black representation in 1960s, but then they had a very good explanation for it.
Because it was meant to be ported to London as
they did. They bought it. It was great. I mean, it's like anything else. It's a little bit like great. I mean, okay, so they're clearly taking Mickey in some ways. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You've got a murder mystery in a place called Great Slaughter.
What was the one with Murder She Wrote? What was the name of that place? Was that
Cabot Cove?
Cabot Cove.
No, there was one of them that used to have one. It was almost like it was a play in the words because of killing. I can't remember what it was, and it obviously Great Slaughter reminded me of that because there's a murder every week in Great Slaughter. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. But there was something I can't even remember what it was. But I've not seen Ivanhoe. 1997's Ivanhoe.
That will be the one. You can tell that will be the one with Victoria Smurfit as Rowena, 97 TV one, as opposed to the one with Olivia Hussey or the one with.
Funny how Colin seems to actually know about women starting these for some reason. And it's a weird. It's just a weird
Susan. I can't remember that. Susan Lynch.
I just don't remember it at all.
No,
if I have seen it, it's something. It's past.
I'm trying to think. Was that the one with? Is that the one that's got?
No, it's not got drums in it. No, I don't think so.
The guy that was in Riley. I'm getting old. The guy that was in Riley and that was in
Christopher Lee.
No, not Riley Ace of Spies.
Oh, Sam Neill.
Sam Neill. Is that all Sam Neill in the? Was Sam Neill in the?
Sam Neill as in Jurassic Park. Sam Neill.
Yeah, I'm not sure he's in that one, or if he was in. He might have been in the Olivia Hussey, the 1980s one.
See, he goes to one older one where if he says Sam Neill, the guy from Jurassic Park, Sam Neill would have probably come to most people's heads.
Must be. Yeah, it must be that one I'm thinking of, because you've got this three. I think there's three versions of Ivanhoe. Well, there's four versions of Ivanhoe technically, because of course there was a black and white one with some guy called.
See, I think I've probably seen that one, the old one.
Yeah,
because it would have been the movie rather than
some guy called Roger Less or something in it. I don't know. Not sure if anything ever happened. I don't think the guy ever went anywhere.
Your jokes are actually going over people's head.
Roger Moore was in it.
That's what everybody was trying to say, because Roger Less. Come on. We're talking about our audience. It's almost actually slightly better than Friday Night Takes audience. And yes, I know most of us watch Friday Night Takes are one of those associated channels, so yes, we're all that stupid. But, Colin, remember, 90% of the time you're talking, it's usually about things that happened 300-400 years ago. So if you suddenly go into something quite topical, people actually, their brains go, skip, like a record.
This is true. I've been around for a long time.
What have we been talking about? Skip. So just watch that. You're getting old, friend. No, that I'm. No,
I've been trying to get a decent quality, a decent resolution copy of the '97 Ivanhoe. I've got it on DVD.
I've not seen it. Something I need to keep an eye out for.
It's just the I think both the other ones I think are both obviously the '53 one with Rob Taylor is a movie. I think the 82 I think it won the Sam Neill one. I think that was a TV movie rather than a series. The '97.
I think I've seen a movie, but I've not seen any TV shows or anything like that from it.
Because the big one is Elizabeth is Rod Taylor, Elizabeth Taylor, no relation obviously, and I had the lady's name and another very well-known Hollywood actor as Rowena.
Linda Page did some consultancy on the new one.
Did he? Oh wow!
And in it's actually said Sian Phillips and Victoria Smurfit.
Yeah, Victoria Smurfit was one. So in a second. So just
the only time I watch Linda Page nowadays is if I want to look at something about tanks or armor.
Yeah, well, he does very little nowadays. Unfortunately, he doesn't do that much at all.
I know it's usually his older stuff because it's tanks and armor I'm usually looking at.
Yeah, I haven't seen much new stuff from him lately either. But the old stuff, like you said, tanks and stuff, they were pretty well done.
I was watching earlier on today. I was watching Al Murray was talking to someone about the Spitfire and the Hurricane they were doing about. I presume there must have been at Duxford. I tell you what's some interesting, actually, or possibly interesting about Ivanhoe in general. I think he wasn't. Yeah, he wasn't Ivan. He wasn't Russian either. It's a Russian asking for if you ask a Russian for a farming unit. Well, Ivanhoe. No, it's actually, if I remember right, I mentioned Robin Hood earlier on. Robin Hood, obviously, it's been going since the Robin Hood stories about it, but it wasn't as in the public consciousness. I think it went in and out of favour, and then Walter Scott wrote Ivanhoe, and Robin Hood has a bit part in Ivanhoe. Well, not quite a bit part, as a not much off a bit part in Ivanhoe. He's a very much a secondary character, and that kind of kicked off or helped to make Robin Hood popular again in the public conscience. That kind of helped make Robin Hood a what do you call it? A public character, not a public character.
Oh God!
In the public, you know,
in the public domain.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It brought him to the public view again, public consciousness, if you like, a little more.
Yeah, well, it's just something I've not seen, and I'll definitely need to have a look at it. But
me too.
What else is what's everybody else watching? I know what you're watching. You're talking because that's where this went down that rabbit hole of Father Brown after.
Well, I actually sat there and I've watched all 7 episodes of that Alien thing.
Oh,
and I just because I'm Alien Earth. And I've got to a point now, and I just think, like everybody else now, I think this is just that jumped the shark ages ago, and it's just getting ridiculous.
It jumped the shark before the actual credits finished.
Yeah, it's just you've got pet Alien now. So
it's weird. I know of one person who actually likes that, and that's the rabbi. The rabbis, and it's fine. If you can find something like it,
the thing is, like that's excellent. If every program was made for us, if we all liked one program, the TV would be one because we would.
My late mother said that.
So the way even some of the stuff we think is utter garbage, somebody's going to like it. I'm not saying they're wrong for liking it, even though we're saying it's rubbish, but we're basing it on our taste, and nobody's denying it's our taste. We're basing it on. It's when some of the taste is done deliberately. That's the problem. like, for instance, putting certain people in when they shouldn't be in just because. They
Yeah.
just because doesn't work.
Box ticking.
But
It's
it is the
exactly-
fact that these days they don't seem to be able to write a reason why a person should be in danger or anything. It's kind of like the laziest scary type cabin in the woods plot line.
Yeah,
It's like,
and it's
why?
the fact that they also say that this is the first or this is groundbreaking. Sorry, isn't because first female one that did this. Well, Ripley, Sarah Connor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's all female characters. Oh, but it's for the first black. You've got Wesley Snipes for Blade. You had somebody even old classic.
All of those were played by Jennifer
You
Lawrence. of
had
course.
Sammy Davis Jr. Some of the
course.
classic big name characters. Yes, at the time, the American, like Sammy Davis Jr. when he was playing in one of the thingies in Vegas, couldn't go through the front door because of the segregation. He had to go around the back, even though the people he was working with could walk through the front door. We're not saying that thing, but they're still big names. It's the same as Eddie Murphy. He was the highest paid actor when RoboCop and stuff like that. And it's basically people are saying, "Aye, but." There's no buts. If you grew up thinking that was a problem, then you're the problem. But we grew up watching them and enjoying them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
and
it
the
doesn't
thing is,
matter.
they really added fun and value to it. And I'm thinking of even
But
Richard
that's it.
Pryor, if we're talking that far back in the
E-
80s.
Even,
I mean, he
even aliens. Vasquez. Has anybody ever confused you with a man? No. Have anybody did it to you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect fucking line for somebody that's actually going, you're a woman. And she's standing there fucking built like that, and she's got the big gun. And he's going, anybody ever confused you with a woman? No, has anybody ever
That was
confused
such a
you?
comeback.
And it was basically such a comeback, but it was one of those ones. It was they were all dead. We knew that because it was Alien, but as a character, she had some of the best lines.
Well,
And
she
it
was
basically-
badass, and they literally
She
had
was.
to up
She-
the
she
scale because
didn't-
they already had Ripley.
But they didn't force it in, and it was things like that because Sarah Connor, you look at the first Terminator, she was just this normal woman, and then suddenly by Terminator 2, she had to bulk up because she had things to do.
Yeah.
So you
She had
saw
a
the
child to
change
protect.
from the very beginning of the first movie to the very beginning of the second movie, and it was because of what happened in the first movie. Basically, it was the story of how she got to be that badass and scary bugger. But Axel Foley, you couldn't get away. Things like they played into the fact that he was black. They didn't, like, for instance, going to Beverly Hills and he gets arrested. You know, is it because, and he's giving it all, is it because I'm black and I did and all this? And it's basically they're playing into the stereotypical ones, but they don't shy away from it, but they don't let it be the main focus.
Yeah.
The comedy and the action overtake it. And it's
I've always liked Beverly Hills Cop 2.
say again.
I've always
You're
liked
quite
Beverly
quiet.
Hills Cop 2.
You are dead quiet.
Right.
I don't know if it's my old ears.
How's that now?
I think he's away from his distance from the mic.
Stop sitting way back here.
Way back.
I tell you, he's playing with his Thunderbirds. He's recreating the
Well,
the
keep your
episode.
hands off your Thunderbirds. And
I was saying, I mean, the phrase has been used several times. I was saying we were talking about something about a little bit on Friday Minutes from the Nerd Fighter last night. I think that the problem that a lot of modern day creatives, because of the world they live in and the mindset they have, and the way they view the world, what they have to believe themselves, they are literally like a cargo cult. They literally are psychologically incapable of understanding what made Aliens popular, what made
true.
any of all the old stuff, what made Doctor Who popular, because they just literally cannot. It does not compute in their brains
see,
that these things can. actually be
I've got a
popular.
very not very flattering view on certain things, which I know are compared to what other people think. They know I'm wrong, but I know I'm right. But I like the classic Doctor Who. See the new stuff. I'm not talking about the new stuff. I'm talking about the new stuff 2005 onwards.
Mm-hmm. I prefer the
I
classic.
started watching it and I got bored with it because it was all flash, no bang. Each story.
It's the same that happened to Star Trek as well. But
No, but see,
you
I think it
lot are the ones
started
that
from
introduced me to
Christopher Eccleston.
the early Doctor Who. And I
Uh-huh.
just went, wow, this is nothing of the new stuff that I've seen people talking about lately. It's like it's complete different world. It's complete
I've
different
never
way of
realized,
building.
and you look at how many people talk about how good the new stuff is up to a set point. I've dropped in and out multiple times because none of it actually caught me. Christopher Eccleston, I liked his Doctor because he reminded me of Tom Baker with the goofy grin. It was Tom Baker's grin. And then some of the stories, I'm sitting there thinking, boring. Because they just didn't catch me, because it just felt as if it was all flash and I'm waiting for the bang. Then David Tennant, never bothered. Matt Smith, never bothered. Then Peter Capaldi came in. I thought, excellent. Yeah, there's the school reunion. It's the only disc I've got from the new run. And I used to collect them all until I didn't. And then I just gave them all to my nephew who loved them. So my bad take is I think the new stuff is just all rubbish. But I'm aware that I'm a classic and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I would have to say I don't think it's all rubbish, but the quality they kind of reduced down to just small nuggets. It was kind of like
Yeah.
a funny moment, a funny line, and that
As
was
I said, all flash, no bang.
Yeah.
And
I
that's
used to,
where I'm.
I used to
Sorry.
like the classic better because you had those long stories.
And that's, I think that's
And
what
that,
it is.
and I
like
couldn't
it
get,
better.
I couldn't get to grips with the new series just having one story per episode. It seemed that's why I like the classic, because you just had this, just so much better for me.
It's the same as my favourite story is War Games, Patrick Troughton. However, Tom is my favourite Doctor. But John is my first Doctor.
Yeah. Oh, I must admit, I'm Tom and John are mine.
Aye, because I basically started watching when I was about 5 or 6, and John had just regenerated in. So I never really saw the early ones. I got videotapes, which I've still got them sitting down there.
Wow.
When I was a bit older. But I've now got all of the classic stuff. I think there's one or two I've still. See, I don't like just going out and buying them. I can buy them out off the shelf. I like going hunting, so I still check the charity shops, and every so often I'll get something and I'll go through somebody selling their collection, so I'll go, oh, nice, cheap. I'll grab that. So I'm okay. I like a hunt. I think I like the hunt better than the actual buy, because I could actually just go on Amazon and just buy them all. Yeah, but I like the hunt. The hunt is more fun. But the classic stuff, even the Sylvester McCoy. Initially, I didn't like the Sylvester. Actually, tell a lie. Initially, I didn't like the Colin Baker Sylvester McCoy era. There's a couple of reasons. One, my age was about the time where women. So I had sort of other things in my mind. But I didn't like the fact that Colin's Doctor was so different from the other Doctors, and he was the sort of mean-spirited at the beginning. I didn't like that. To me, the Doctor was a particular way, and his personality changes, but he still had the fundamental core, whereas Colin's fundamental core seemed a wee bit nastier, the way he would talk to Perry and stuff like that. Yeah, the fact that he tried to strangle her, and I mean, I like Peter Davidson.
He tries to strangle her,
just
waking
seemed
up
weird.
like
It
down her
seemed
cleavage. Weird guy.
Say again?
He tried to strangle her because after he's woken up and when he wakes up, staring straight down her cleavage. The first thing his face sees is Nicola Bryant's cleavage. I mean,
And
And
the
then he
last
cost
thing Peter
Fraser.
Davidson saw was Nick
Yeah,
Abercrombie.
exactly.
The fact is,
Oops.
even Peter's
Yeah.
doctor was a slight change because he was
Mm.
young. He was the sort of more eccentric type. He was the cricketer, and it was very
Yeah.
English rather than just very British. I thought it was sort of narrowed it down a bit because I
Really?
always saw all the other ones as a British character because
Mm.
you had the grandfather and Scottish, Irish, Welsh. They all had that type of figure in a lot of
Yeah.
their movies. Even if it was set in Wales, you still had that type of character. The sort of clown dandy. You had the fancy one, or else you had this sort of enigmatic one. You could have a set in any of the 4 nation or countries within a nation, and they would all fit. Peter Davidson's was very English,
Mm.
but I didn't dislike it because he played into the Englishness. Then you got Colin, which it was almost a case of from the beginning, it's the spark, and you're sitting there thinking, no. Then his outfit, and you went, hell no.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Trifle.
But in hindsight, if you watch it, you see it changing. So, and I was aware at the time I disliked it a lot. And then Sylvester McCoy was a wee bit too goofy, very like bits and pieces of all the other Doctors, but quite not gelling. However, as you watch it, the stories are a bit sillier, except Battlefield, one of my favourites. I love Battlefield. With Brigadier Mimbara. The female lister
Bambera.
from Red Dwarf, Bambera. Female lister from Red Dwarf. The thing is, see, when I saw that, I didn't think Bambera. I thought lister. But it's just one of those things because when I first saw it, I'd seen it once, and it was just one of those ones you saw the new Brigadier. Then later on, you've watched all the other stuff, and then you go back to it and go, I know who she is. And it didn't change the fact that I liked her better, but it was the fact that I'd started to like her, then I realised who she was. And I've seen her in other things, and she's a good actress. And I think that made me change that. The bits where it seemed
Angela
a wee
Bruce,
bit
I think her name
clunky.
is.
Eh?
Is it Angela Bruce, the lady's name?
It sounds right, but I don't know off the top of my head. But it was the fact is, I'd seen her in other things, and I knew that anything that seemed clunky wasn't because of the way she delivered it. It's probably the way it was written, because I found Sylvester's a bit more clunky in parts, silly, whimsical in other parts. And I think they still know my favourites. But I enjoy them now when I'm watching them. And a lot of it is to do with going back and seeing them again and also recognising characters like War Games. The Colonel in War Games was the priest in Red Dwarf. The old priest that died was the Colonel in War Games.
Wow.
You know what I mean? You're sitting there thinking it's the connect. Remember the program Connections? You're zoop, zoop, zoop.
Yeah.
And he was in that, and it's things like that. You're watching it and going, he was in Red Dwarf. He played the old cat priest. And the first day, and you're sitting there thinking it's just weird things like that, and it makes it a bit more entertaining because you're not just seeing somebody for 1969, 70. You're seeing someone who you've seen later on who's a good actor, and it's watching it. We got off alien. I think that was just somebody actually. It started, we talked about it, and then it sort of went. That was my fault. I do apologise. You were talking about Alien Earth.
Yeah, I was. It's just madness now.
It is, but it's one of those things. But
I did like the idea of the androids putting a human being into an android body, but the alien
a child into it, and then suddenly saying, "You're a combat robot. Go and kill those."
Yeah,
and you're sitting there thinking,
and then children as well.
Would you actually say? That's like saying, could you give us your children? We're just actually going to war, so we need children soldiers. Here's your gun, go and shoot them people. There'll be no problems, don't you worry.
No, you're invulnerable, but you're not.
Uh-huh.
I did like Timothy Oliphant, his character.
Timothy Oliphant's actually a good actor.
He is. Did you ever see him with that thing on Netflix where he's a husband to the girl in E.T.? What's her name? I can't remember now. It's terrible. And she turns into a zombie, and they start eating people.
Is that the TV? Is that the TV show?
Is that Santa Clara?
Yeah, I actually like that. Yeah,
I liked it initially, but I think this was it second or third season. It just sort of got a wee bit.
Yeah, I liked it up to about the second season.
What was it called? Because she played the lab tech. She played the lab tech. I can't even remember what it was.
The lab tech is iZombie. iZombie is the lab tech, but Santa Clara Diet is and Drew Barrymore.
Yeah,
I think
iZombie was the one that I remember, and I thought I quite enjoyed that.
Well, I've heard, obviously, I've watched a lot of reviews of Alien Earth, and I think it sounds to me. I think, okay, sorry. You want to set and aliens come to Earth. Okay, well, whatever you think of the movie, what happened at the very end of Alien Resurrection? Let me think. Oh, that's right. They crashed on Earth. So why not set it there? Why set it 2 years?
Yeah, and I still,
But that's another thing, right? When you were talking about when it was happening, why set it before as a prequel? Why not set it after you knew all about the aliens and do it then, so you could actually talk about all the aliens and these things have moved on, so you've got these these androids that can do this and do that, instead of saying it's like Star Trek Discovery.
Oh no,
they've got holographic communicators. They've got holographic communicators, and they can talk to someone across the universe, and these communicators, it's basically a hologram. Didn't have that in Star Trek, and this is set 10 years before Star Trek.
I gave up. Yeah, I watched the first season of that just to give it a go, and I'm just thinking, what? And then they jumped forward, didn't they? And there was no dilithium left, and it was how did that happen?
As far as I remember, Gary's saying is an alien took a tender tantrum because he's mummy. Yeah. And he basically destroyed all the dilithium. And then he's saying, right, so so basically the Klingons, the Romulans, who don't use dilithium, how could they not actually take over the whole quadrant? Because their ships would still fly. But they forget that because they think, the Federation used dilithium, so everybody must use it because that's the only way you get it. Yeah, they've set it up saying it's quantum singularities that the Vulcans use. No, the Vulcans, sorry, the Romulans use. So if the lithium went, they would still have a method.
That's the thing I so dislike about the new stuff when they're trying to write new things to any kind of show there is, but they completely throw out everything that comes before it.
Exactly.
Everything from magic system to established, shall we say, science and whatnot. And I know Star Trek is the perfect example of a non-science things that the fans try to stick to, which is the warp speed.
It's not science fiction, it's future science fact. Because remember, our phones all came from the initial Star Trek communicator.
Yeah. Hyperspace and scanners and all of that.
Yeah.
But they stray away so much from it, and they keep forgetting that those are the parts that got the geeks in. And I know that one of my favorite adaptation is upcoming as a film soon, the Project Hail Mary. They literally, in the trailer, I can see they've done all the science
don't
stuff.
Make a TV show at a Project Hail Mary.
No, it's a film.
Oh, it's going to be worse because they're taking a book and going, and then they'll say, but we want to make it into 3 movies. Right. All that stuff we've already cut out. We'll not put it back in. We'll just add our own stuff.
Yeah.
and change everything suddenly instead of
Make it
it's like
inclusive.
it would be like taking the Bobaverse and suddenly it's the Brendaverse. And it's basically you're sitting there thinking, it's not the fact that he was a male consciousness, it was the fact that he was an engineer's consciousness that sort of worked.
Yeah.
And that's how it worked because he had that brain set. So yeah, it could be male or female, it made no difference. But the only reason you're changing it is because of that. If you were turning around and saying, well, we're looking at something else, and that's why it's this. Then, if the reason behind it is okay, then you can understand it. But if they just
It's
change
also
it
a lot
because
lazy screen telling of a story stuff. So if we go back to the Project Hail Mary, they're trying to show that he's waking up on the ship, and suddenly he's looking like a hobo, long beard, long hair, and everything. Despite
Dwarf.
literally in the first chapter of the book, it's being told that he's being maintained by a robot that's literally shaving his face as he's waking up from one of these after effects of the long-term coma that she's been in.
They've somebody seen Red Dwarf and they want to actually have the bit when Dave and the cat comes out of the stasis pod where their nails are away long and the beard and the big afro. That's basically what they want. So somebody said that, says that would be funnier.
Yeah, well, but in Red Dwarf they make that as a funny because
exactly
Mister is waking up after 3
million
million years with no long nails, no nothing. Literally looks like the day he walked in.
But that's what I'm saying. So somebody's seen that and thought that would be funnier, so we'll put that in here instead of actually saying, well, with the technologies keeping them that way, and it's because you've got the robot caretaking system, which is they're maintaining him, making sure he's basically shaved and and all that.
But not only that, they make Ryland Grace appear like an idiot in the trailer for it, even though he's literally the lead scientist in the book. He's like the forefront of it. He's constantly there discovering the new things, knows the most about it.
Yeah, but they'll guaranteed there'll be a radio link to Earth, which will work in real time, and he'll get instructions.
It's like Alien Earth, Disgracery, a lot of these things. I think none of them seem to be summed up. I think from again, a lot of ones from what I couldn't be bothered to watch, but I've seen lots of reviews of. Reasonably good ideas, just appallingly badly implemented.
And most of the times it is that because somebody may have an idea, like Alien Earth, good. Even Neurotic says there was about 5 or 6 good ideas wasted. And that's the thing. So if you actually says, well, we're going to do this, and if we set it like this, but we're maybe setting it 15, 20 years after these events, and we've got this new technology. They don't say, we've got all this new technology before that happened. And you're sitting there thinking.
But the thing with
I've already started seeing spoilers for Tron Ares, which is going to be the 3rd film in the Tron saga, so to speak. They've literally kicked everything that came before out, and suddenly Tron has become a Greenpeace eco warrior, like Greta Thunberg.
Yeah, basically, as far as I'm aware, Tron is actually not in it.
No, Tron is actually not in it. It's Ares the program. But Ares is becoming the.
But that's what I'm saying.
Greenpeace
So they're basically.
warrior.
So it's like Mad Max Fury Road, where it's called Mad Max Fury Road, but Mad Max isn't in it. So it's no Mad Max anymore. So they only use the Mad Max to get people in. It's the same as Tron Legacy. It's or Tron Ares.
Well,
Tron's not in it, so it's Ares. So that's the thing. It's they have to use that to drag you in, and they're not in it. So it's Tron was the character.
Well, they did that with The Witcher, didn't they?
Yeah, they did it with Wheel of Time. Christ.
Yeah.
I was a big Wheel of Time fan, and after that, I couldn't even listen to audiobooks because all I heard is their voices.
Yeah,
I saw their faces in front of my mind when I was trying to read it, and it's like,
oh God,
no way.
That's all I kept hearing it. And then the worst part is Rosamund Pike. I've seen her in other things. She's a good actress, but because of that character, I noticed the audiobooks they also added in a new audiobook, a new version of the Wheel of Time stuff, read by Rosamund Pike.
Oh
And it
dear.
added like an hour plus to it. So is it because her delivery is slower and the same book is suddenly an hour and a bit longer? Or have they added stuff in to
Probably.
make it more like the TV show? And the
I
worst
think
thing
I
is,
crunched it. The original audiobook and her book was like 7% longer.
I'd say it was
So
about
it's
an hour. It was about
significant
an hour and
chunk.
5-10 minutes. So I looked at the two of the difference, and is it a case of she's just a slow reader? So basically her delivery's slower. So it's extended that way because some people talk fast. Some people talk slowly. So it could be your delivery. It's just a slower delivery. No, nothing wrong with that. But is it they've added things to make it match the TV show? And if they have, who wants to listen to it to check? Certainly not me. I don't want to listen to it just in the off chance it may change it. I loved the Wheel of Time. I disliked the Sean-Shan. Hated the Sean-Shan. Anytime I was reading and the Sean-Shan were in it, I would skip ahead. After I read it the first time, the second time, Sean-Shan, I knew they were part of it. It's the same as a lot of things. There's certain things. I love Voyager, but most of the characters annoy me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But-
I do unfortunately skip a few episodes in it.
So, but
It's
it is
like,
that type of thing. It's the same as Doctor Who. There's certain episodes you think, actually, Stargate, is it episode 4 in season 1, the one with the Mongols, and
yes, Gary Guevara.
Emancipation. To me, that is one of the worst episodes. So when I'm watching it, I skip it.
Yeah, I do.
Someone- Someone
Yeah,
pointed
because
out.
Carter has already been introduced as a very capable, very kick-ass lady, and
You
suddenly
didn't
you have
need
this.
I had to prove it, and it didn't need to be proved because the fact is the way they went around it. The Stargate was meant to have been buried over 2,000 years ago.
Yeah,
So how would their culture transplanted if
yeah.
there was
Some of
no
them never got
Stargate?
to.
the American Indians, they get transplanted. There was no Stargate. The
Yeah.
The Vikings.
the
North,
Vikings
that's God.
and the North, there was
Yeah.
also the one with the dark, the light and the dark. Was that not
The
Aztec?
Arthurian ones, the medieval ones.
There was the
Most of
Aztec
them.
ones as well.
Yeah.
So there was a
you're
lot of
spoiling
ones
it.
that they were basically using, and even some of the gold. Remember the one it was the Chinese. It was the emperor.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Why is he
Yeah,
dressed? Why is he actually part of that culture? And why is he part of that culture? Because they're said that it'd been buried for 2,000 years. That culture didn't come in until maybe 4 AD or 400 AD and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You're sitting there thinking,
There are a few
you
things.
allow,
I mean,
you allow things. It's the same as things like we were talking about earlier. The outfits on things, or the thalidomide on Sister Boniface. You allow certain things, Father. So you allow them because it doesn't really interrupt the story, and
Yeah.
you basically you understand it's for the narrative. It's just the actually
for the narrative and the but it's the biggest peeve I
entertainment.
have around Stargate. It is the whole thing that they seem to have managed to kidnap every single culture on planet Earth and transplant it everywhere. Yet the only tiny little trace we have is the digging Giza.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
So-
Egyptian, basically the Egyptian civilization.
Yeah.
Weird that.
Like you just said, they had everybody from the Aborigines to I
Vikings.
would say early versions of the Norsemen that later became the Vikings, but the Vikings
The American
transplanted
Indians.
into a whole different race through the Asgard, which is actually a fantastic way of telling that how they travel around, the Thor's hammer and all of that stuff. That makes really good sense in terms of fusing mythology into a story.
Aye, and
But-
it brought the characters in, and it allowed them to mentioned things like they had the alien. It was Loki, so you knew Loki was seen as a mischievous Grey. So basically, so you had Thor, who was one of the Greys. It was a good one, but you knew Loki might be a wee bit dodgy because it's Loki. So he was seen as a mischievous god, and you understand that he was doing experiments here, there, and where he shouldn't be. So it allowed you to actually give the character a name, and a lot of people understood that character without having to give a yes, we have this character called Loki, and he does this to your planet and does this and does the explanation to explain.
Just the name says it all.
And the name says it all. Or even if you're not entirely sure, they assume you get an idea of what it is. They don't assume you're wrong. They assume.
But it is a certain thing with that other TV shows also lived quite well on, and I'm thinking of, say, Supernatural, even though it's quite a lot more American based in terms of their ghosts and their spooky stuff. It is still you kind of heard the name before. You sort of have a gist, regardless of where you're coming from. You have a kind of a gist of what it is coming from. And I will reply to Eminem there. Sorry, we played for keepsies when we came over and took the gold from the Brits. So there is no backsies on this.
They basically what they should have done is done what the Scots did when the Romans tried it. Sold them the mortar, sold them the bricks, and let them build a wall.
Yep.
Oh, you mean the Trump solution?
Uh-huh.
A big, beautiful wall. Well, I mean, the thing is,
You can pay for it.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, though, it's we talk about all this thing, and yeah, okay, there's massive whole things with Stargate. Massive potential plot holes with Stargate. I mean, you could get around the Asgard Viking thing by saying, okay, but the Asgard were in contact because the Asgard knew about Earth, and that's where they came. Plus, I don't know how you want to do it.
Yes,
but
you could also say the same about the American Indians because it was the other aliens. Remember the ones with the girls?
Yeah,
they were the ones that looked after them. But you could say it was them that did that.
Well,
but
all of a sudden, the thing though is that it doesn't matter. If it's
exactly,
good.
It didn't matter. It was just part of a storytelling thing, and it was actually. The whole history has changed now. This and you suddenly had the Viking, this and the Middle East. And you had it here in China, and you'd be sitting there going, "Why is there Egyptian hieroglyphs in different parts of the globe when it was never mentioned and stuff like that?" And it would be a wee bit weird. But they didn't. They just basically just brushed over it and says,
"You can accept these things, or you can brush past these things if it's a good show and you enjoy it. It's well written. Like, for example, this is me, right, Mr. Historic Pedant. Right, I loved Hercules and Xena, despite the fact that Xena and
Gabrielle,
thank you.
I love Xena. It's basically one of the. I loved it. It's just one of those
within
things.
Approximately 50-year lifetime, because they were frozen, right? They visited ancient Troy and Camelot.
Mm-hmm.
As you do.
In one lifetime. I don't care. I loved the show.
Exactly. It had Bruce Campbell and Hercules come out. You couldn't actually go wrong with Hercules with Bruce Campbell and hang me Kevin Sorbo.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I love Xena. Xena, yeah, they said it was a feminist icon. So
didn't seem like it at the time.
She was a badass, kick-ass, great, and entertaining character. And even Gabrielle, who
also
was
with Hercules and Xena, you went in knowing full well, looking at it, you knew exactly what you were going to get. You knew it wasn't going to be super serious or absolutely hyper-focused on facts.
But it's also you had Gabrielle, who I suppose fitted into the damsel of the week role. But she wasn't. She sort of did fill that role, but it wasn't just the. She'd been training with Xena, so she wasn't good at it, but she tried, and it didn't actually imply that she could do this and she could do that. Whereas the very first time you see Xena, she's fighting Hercules. So
Yeah.
you know she's powerful from day one. So you don't need to explain why she's beating all these guys up. She's already against a demigod, and she kicks his ass, and then obviously gets back, and it's basically so the character's already set, and Gabrielle's already set as well because she's a softer, more feminine character. So you don't expect her to kick everybody's ass, but she's no one that's easily you know she would basically
Oh,
still try to
Dino.
do things. Exactly. So the dynamics of the characters, even though it was a feminist icon, we all still loved it. I mean, and it's the same as how many women actually watched Hercules and enjoyed it, and it wasn't just because it's very masculine. It was a case of it was still entertaining enough. They weren't just what it'd be like. How many women actually sat and watched Aquaman with Jason Momoa for the fact that it had his shirt off, but how many actually enjoyed the story?
Oh, I
We don't
suspect
know.
I suspect the majority
Whereas
were in the first group rather than the second group. But
He was good in Stargate Atlantis.
I loved
Yeah.
Ronan Bax. He was basically great. Did you remember the one where the golf, where Shepard is good? Yes, you do this, and he's boom into the sea. Roman takes a golf club and just goes one hand, bang, and he goes, and then he tries it and he misses, and he just puts it down and walks away. Roman was just fantastic as a character. He was, but even what was the woman's name?
Elizabeth.
No.
Taylor?
It was the alien, the woman.
Taylor?
Taylor.
Taylor.
Taylor was good as well.
Yeah.
I'm saying nothing about that comment, but
they
Taylor,
had really
Taylor
good
was
dynamic.
good
The only thing
because
I think let it down a little bit is that
the race.
Joe. The race were decent, but they were pretty much carbon copy of
Initially they
Bull.
were decent. But they
Joe,
sort of
whatever his
overplayed it.
name was, he was just trying to be too much O'Neill or Richard Dean Anderson, which for me it was kind
I
of like he's
suppose
just
so.
trying to copy.
I suppose so. However, I love the Scottish Doctor.
The coward.
He wasn't a coward. He was a medical man, so he wouldn't be fighting. He wouldn't expect to fight. He was basically.
He was just
no.
normal.
You're thinking of
Rodney, wasn't it Rodney?
You were thinking of Rodney. Aye,
Yeah.
it's no. I'm talking about the Scottish Doctor.
Oh
before.
yeah, sorry, I confused him because
you're
I was
thinking of
actually
Rodney.
The one that
jumping
was
ahead a little
killed,
bit.
was he
Who
killed
was
and then
that
came back or
brainy?
something?
He was that brainy. He was a coward because he didn't want to get his intellect bruised.
Yeah.
Rodney was a great
sorry,
character.
the Doctor was
Even with
Scottish.
But Rodney was a great character, even with all his faults. His ego, his cowardice. He was still a great character. You still liked
He was a
Rodney's
character. He was a
character.
good character.
It was a really funny thing. He was playing this all brainy stuff and everything, and quite late in, you get revealed that he actually has a sister,
Who's
and
brainier?
both actors' names ends with Hewlett, but they're not related at all.
Well, they're not.
But
I thought they actually.
most people thought they were, but they're not
thought-
related.
Because it's one of those things. If you get two characters playing a particular role and the two of them get the same name, you'd sit there thinking, I wonder if they actually, because they look.
But the
you can
fact
see-
is, they look fairly similar too. So
Exactly.
you would think,
I thought it said that they actually were. That's interesting.
no, they're not.
Do you know the thing is they would have played it up so they wouldn't have mentioned it. They would have actually obfuscated it. So they wouldn't have. If somebody had asked, they would say, the relationship is very similar to their characters. That's all they needed to say, implying that they're brother and sister because their characters are brother and sister, not that their characters are actually this feisty or whatever. So they just play up in these things, or it has been said that so and so is related to. Nobody actually proves it or disproves it, but it has been said that.
But they
They
did get
obfuscate
great
this
script
thing.
writing and everything. So you actually felt that these seems like sibling. This seems like there's a sibling couple here, and they're at each other's throat constantly.
Yeah, but it is good writers. Doesn't matter the genre, doesn't matter the characters, We're talking about Xena. We're talking about Stargate. We're talking about Carter. We're talking about Rowan Dax. Different characters, but we're all great characters. Characters we all enjoyed. Not one person turns around and says, "I didn't watch that Xena. It was all about women." Or I didn't watch that Ringme because it's all about aliens. I didn't watch that because it was all about all these guys, these soldiers. No,
but
I basically watched it because it
Ronan
was
and
entertaining.
Teal'c have quite a bit of similarity there, but you can definitely tell them apart immediately because Teal'c is the kind of indeed, whereas
Very
Ronan is
good.
just staring with like a death stare if you're
Yeah.
asking him a
Which you
question.
saw when they had the two of them together,
So
and
you
the two of them are sort of,
you could never
and they're
imagine.
looking at each other, and you could just see the actual difference in the similarity and the difference. You know what I mean?
You could never imagine a
bald
spin.
head compared to the looks like it's actually walked through a hedge backwards, and but the two of them have just got that.
You can never imagine a spin-off called Ronan PI.
No, but it's just one of those things. It's all the different characters we've talked about. They're all interesting characters because everybody liked them. Is it a surprise? No, because they were good. They were well written. As we were saying about Vasquez and Aliens, great character. People loved her. We're talking about Rodney and Stargate. Flawed character. People loved them. Yeah, I mean, and it's things like that. You need to have flaws, or else you're basically anything. There's no what's the point in having a character that's not got flaws? Even Samantha Carter, one of my favourite characters, no denying. Even when oh god, her name just disappeared again.
Taylor.
No. Samantha character's actual real name. Amanda Tapping. You remember her TV show afterwards? It was about all the mutation.
Sanctuary.
Yeah. Sanctuary.
Sanctuary.
I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Was it because Amanda Tapping was in it?
No, there was a younger lady there. I believe she's Dutch or something.
Yeah, but so it was Amanda Tapping. It got me, and I watched it, and I enjoyed it. I thought it ended too quickly, but I think they just decided, nah, we're not just going to extend it. And you're sitting there thinking, really?
Oh no, I hate that.
I hate that when they actually something that's really good, you're enjoying it, and they're not going to do it. And you're like, did anybody see Extraordinary?
No, I haven't seen that.
Oh, 2 seasons. Imagine if when you turn between your 18th to 25th birthday, you get powers. You don't know what they're going to be, but it's only fairly new. So in the last 10, 15 years, people who have turned into adults suddenly got their powers. So you've got somebody who's maybe in their late 60s, who's played by a child, because her power kicked in when she was and she's and it gave her eternal youth. So she's this boss in the thingy smoking the fags, and she's about 12. The actress is about 12 or 13. Aye, well, you need to get all that finished, and I need to go. And it's basically she's playing this older character, and it works. But it's all about one girl whose powers haven't turned up yet. Extraordinary. It's a comedy. It's a dark comedy. It's a superheroes. British, and it's funny as hell, but they only did 2 seasons and they left it in a cliffhanger.
Oh man,
I hate that.
And they decided not to renew it. They actually said in advance they're not renewing it, so it's not a case of you had to wait. They just said, and you're sitting there thinking,
oh
but
no,
I will watch Extraordinary because it's fun. It is fun. It's one of those things.
I got to the point a long time ago. I think it was Space and Above Beyond. I got to the point where I recorded the last episode of a show of a season, and I ran to the end of it. And if it said to be continued, I put the tape on the shelf until it came back, just in case. because I detest cliffhanger series endings with vehemence. I
Well,
think it's a case of they
See,
don't
I
have any
grew up
faith of
with
in.
cliffhanger endings, unfortunately, because Doctor Who. Making
I'm,
sure
yeah, yeah, but cliffhanger endings for an episode is no problem. I don't mind that at all.
Oh, that's a good one. Like that.
Aye.
It's
There is 5 in the series. So there is
when you, it's
5
when
in
you get a
the series.
cliffhanger ending to an entire season that pisses me off.
Aye, so you're basically the 5 in the series is Jack, Daniel, a Horus guard, an Anubis guard, and Ra. That's the 5 in the series.
Well, so
And I managed to pick up
no
Jack.
Samantha, no Chilk, no Sam.
Nope.
Hmm.
Unless they did another series, but in this series, there was only 5. The Horus Guard, the Anubis Guard, Ra, Daniel, and Jack. And they think they're Pokemon because at the bottom it says collect them all.
Oh, no, sorry, no, wait, no, sorry, of course. That means that's the film, not the series. With Ra, sorry. No Chilk, no, because they weren't in the film. It's a film, not a series, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. But in terms of
sorry,
villains,
I need to comment on
Stargate
this.
SG-1 has the really good ones, especially Raw that keeps coming back.
Yeah, I need to comment on Nums. Hang me, Kim Cattrall.
Well, I'll say Police Academy for that.
Yeah.
Porkies, but
That one too.
Kim Cattrall.
Never found her that attractive.
Do you know do you know the funniest thing I found out about Angela Lansbury? We all know Angela Lansbury from things like Murder, She Wrote and the older woman character. I've got a few Angela Lansbury when she was a Hollywood icon.
She was
Basically a star, basically, but she was one gorgeous starlet. And people don't realise it because Murder, She Wrote, people see her as this older woman. Yeah, she was a starlet. She was basically gorgeous and she basically was a star of the silver screen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's weird. I'm saying nothing because my sister and my wife are watching, were watching it.
It just keeps coming.
I used to watch.
I'm happy I was online. Next week, though, I'm knackered.
I used to watch Strictly because my late mother used to watch it. If it was on when I was round here, same with Songs of Praise.
It was basically Coronation Street. My mum, I grew up watching Coronation Street in Emmerdale, not Emmerdale Farm, not Emmerdale, Emmerdale Farm.
Yeah,
I grew up watching that because my mum watched it, so it was on the TV. Believe it or not, one TV, 4 channels. You were stuck. Whatever was on.
Yeah.
Luckily enough, my dad was a geek, so he basically he wasn't a geek, but he liked his sci-fi and his fantasy and his stuff. So I still got to watch Star Trek, them horror movies because he liked
Space 1999.
Oh, aye. But it's because my dad liked all that, so we watched it.
UFO season 2 is otherwise known.
Yeah, aye. Because it's almost like a carry on of it, but
well, it was originally supposed to be, wasn't it? It was originally intended to be.
It was
either season 2 or a sequel to.
I think it was maybe like a spin-off because you had one of the shadow bases on the moon in Space 1999.
Yeah.
So it was meant to be a shadow base, but they didn't want to actually have the shadow interceptors. So that's why
they changed a lot of it. Yeah.
Because although I think the Eagles are one of the most iconic.
Oh yeah.
To me, they seem
Eagles over interceptors every time.
See, of all the spaceships we've seen in the movies, I think the Eagle's the one that's the most we would build.
Did you see this? There's someone on YouTube who's actually looked at the Eagle cockpit because he said it doesn't make sense. That when you look at it where they are and how it is inside, it just doesn't make sense for the space in it. Yeah. And he actually made a computer generated model how it should be. It's quite interesting.
I've got my ego.
So I had several Eagle Airfix models. What was it? Dan's Spacebook.
Oh, I had that one once.
It was that. It's that part there because the way
Yeah.
it bumps in, and it's basically when you look at it, it's flat. It's almost like these don't exist inside, and it's almost like the front of it doesn't exist.
And there's too much space from the back for them.
Yeah.
So where they're sitting, they're sitting, they should be sitting here with the back behind them. Whereas the way it would be, they would be sitting there right up against the wall.
If not in the bulkhead, behind the bulkhead.
Yeah. But then again, is it a case of the bit with the bulkhead is here behind this?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I think he's
so basically that cabin goes back, but it's like Starbug. It's like Starbug. You see them running backwards and forwards. The only ship, the inside and the outside match is Serenity. Because I know they built Serenity. So they did. So when somebody was actually doing the running up, they basically they would fall up and they'd go down the ladders into the sleeping quarters. They obviously had it all opened up so they could see it, but in effect they built how the ship would look. So when people were running up and doing the scenes, they were doing the scenes. So whereas Starbug, considering the size of Starbug, they lived in Starbug for how long?
Yeah,
when they were hunting for the Red Dwarf.
And
look at the size of it, and look at the size of it. But Starbug, there's just basically the four of them sitting in the first bubble. So the second bubble, and then the third bubble's the engine. So it's only the centre bubble. Yet they had the sleeping quarters, they had the sitting room, they had the it wasn't a kitchen, but they basically their sitting room was the big circular table with all that space. And then when they would go into the room, and it was basically they had two rooms. The cat had his own space with his wardrobe. Where's all the space? It didn't make sense, but I was enjoying it.
In all fairness, even on Red Dwarf, how the hell do you fit Cat's wardrobe?
It's a dimensional wardrobe. It's actually when you open it and you take all the clothes out, you'll notice around it, it's basically it's a TARDIS.
Yeah. It's proof that the cat's actually a Time Lord.
Well, we've all seen the Red Dwarf TARDIS, haven't we?
Yeah.
I think so.
And see in season 1 as it's flying through. All right, see as it's flying through, you look at the paperwork. No, the paperwork. The sides. There's a TARDIS in amongst all that. So there is. So basically, seeing how when it flies past and the camera's along the side, there's a TARDIS in one of the corners. It's painted red, but it's the TARDIS is in one of the corners.
I'm gonna look now.
And I think it's in season 1 or season 2, but it's basically as the ship's flying past and the camera goes down the side and you see all the bits. But there's a lot of movies out there that, remember we were talking about this in one of the streams before about ship. Was it Aliens or when they're going through the bit where all the derelicts and you see an eagle sitting on one of the rocks, and then the guy's meant to be walking up towards one of the things that I don't know if it's the obelisk. He's wearing the outfit from Space 1999, one of their spacesuits painted black. It's things like that. You go, oh, I've seen that. Because if you look at some like Star Wars, the Star Trek, there's meant to be a scene in Star Trek when they're off in Wolf 359 where they're fighting the Borg. Accordingly, one of the ships is meant to be Millennium Falcon.
I know.
Basically, because it's meant to be in the distance. They just did it for a wee nod to the other series. Whereas everybody goes, I hate this, and if you like a Star Wars, you can't be a Star Trek. Rubbish. The guys that were writing basically a wee nod to it. and it's things like that.
Something. One of the few things I think that Will Wheaton's ever actually said that's smart. Actually, no, that's not. No, that's not fair. I did like his tabletop, but there's an episode of Big Bang Theory where new Star Wars movie comes out and they're all scared. He turns up in a Star Wars in his Star Trek uniform, and he says, "Seriously, I like both." You know, one of the few sensible. You know.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I've never got why you wouldn't.
No.
I dislike Will Wheaton, but Ready Player One, the audiobook with Will Wheaton reading it, it feels like it feels dead geeky because he seems to actually read it.
As well? I think he read some of John. I think he read some of John Scalzi novels, the Old Man's War ones. I'm not sure if he read those or not.
I can't remember. I've got Old Man's War, and I can't remember him reading any of them.
There's another one. There's I think I saw there's another one out, been released recently. Because I know he left. Suppose he left it on a cliffhanger, if I remember right. And
guys, need to watch the time because I didn't realise it was that late. Because I'm meant to have finished 25 minutes ago. My sister's staying, and
well, I've got to wash the floor.
And the thing is, we can't turn around and say, "Hey, what time is it over there?" Roman's not here, so it's basically the same time for us all.
Yeah,
get the gym 1 hour ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm going to hand it over to Jim shortly to finish off. But for my last show on Let's Talk Geeky, and I'm not ruling out in the far distant future having the occasional guest appearance, but I'm no longer doing.
Hello, Darren.
I'm no longer doing live. I'm no longer doing live shows. I know, Colin, the fathers wanted me back on.
Yeah.
I'm no longer going to be doing live shows at all. So if I do anything, it'll be a video, and it'll be more than likely clips of this or clips of old versions of Let's Talk Geeky on a channel, and I'm just going to build that up. The channel, believe it or not, is called Let's Talk Geeky.
Yay!
I basically just used the all one word, and so I'm going to do clips, but it's something that's going to happen gradually. There's a couple of clips up there already. I'm going to do that, but I'm not going to longer be on live. I'm no longer doing that. I may come in and catch up. I will be in the chat. Miranda, lovely to find meet you, because anytime you've been in the chat, I'm sitting there thinking, aye, that's exactly what mine's is like. I talk about that. Alec, Jim, and Colin, no bits and pieces, but I think you know more about the stuff that I like than any they do. Because anytime you've been in the chat, I'm sitting there thinking, see, and it's lovely meeting you for the first time.
Yeah. And you too.
In person, as it were, in person, video, online, in person. Yeah, you know what I mean, anyway.
Yeah.
I will be in the chat. So, and I may, in the future, pop in for a wee hi, whatever. But it's not something I'm going to do often. I'm literally taking a step back from online stuff for a while. A good long while.
You have to show us your caravan, though.
Oh, once I get it, I'll show you. But it'll basically, there'll be none of this in it. I've been warned. None, nada, zilch.
No.
I know, basically, when we moved in here, we were looking at a house. My wife wanted 2 rooms, one for friends staying and family staying. My daughter used to come down. So, and I said, no, it has to be 3 rooms. She says, that's right, because I don't want any of your shite in my house. So everything I used to have it around it. I used to have it in different. I had it in different rooms, so I had bits and pieces here and there. So I had a couple of TARDISes in the living room. I had this, and I had the
sneaking.
Now everything's indoors except the stickers on the outside, but everything's in here. I'm not allowed anything of mine's out there. So my shite, bad wording, is not allowed outside my man cave. It's basically that was the instructions I was given. Don't want any of your shite in my house. And I said, so my room, your house? She says yes. So I agreed with her and says, no problem. I got my room, so I'm happy. But I'll pass it over to Jim to do his final countdown, as it were.
Right.
Yeah.
And Alex,
I
Colin,
will
I will
promise that
keep
we
that
will
contact.
try our best to make sure PJ comes back as often as
Yay.
possible without obviously ruining his retirement, because it's well earned. We
Yeah.
have had quite a lot of fun during these 100 first episodes or
Crikey.
streams. I can't believe it's 100 already, because I have so much respect for the people doing this constantly. That is just insane. But well, I don't think I have too much to say other than it's been an absolute blast, and I hope that me, Alex, maybe Miranda will come on a few more times in the future. Same with Colin, whenever he can. And we'll continue trying just to chat away with the good old geeky stuff. And for those that are new, you probably noticed that for us, the good old new geeky stuff is essentially anything before 2000.
I think we all actually sort of fit in that. We're all certainly before 2000. Some of us obviously look a bit worse off than the others.
What's the golden age?
It definitely was. I think we're lucky we grew up.
Oh God, yeah.
I know you hear things like Gary and all that from Nerdrotty and some of the older ones, even older than pensioner here. They grew up. They grew up with that. But we remember that as see the years before and all the movies before. We grew up with them on TV. So yes, we didn't see them in the cinema. We saw them on Saturday nights, Friday nights at 6 o'clock after everything your mum wanted to watch. We would be sitting watching all the stuff. We would be watching all the old black and white movies. We'd be watching all the sci-fi, all the American shows that came over. So I think we were extremely lucky, just for the simple fact is. Hi, Wendy. We're just about to finish.
Yeah.
But it is. I think we grew up in the right and at the best time, because we got to experience all that. We got to experience our parents' stuff as well, all the good stuff that they said. And because we saw on the TV, because the TV wasn't new, but it was more popular. Because I remember it was just starting to become a thing, because you used to rent Granada. Remember, 50p in a TV.
Yeah.
You could rent your TV because not everybody had a TV in the house, so you could rent.
They were expensive, and and if you bought one, you didn't know it'd last. So
exactly, so you would rent it from Granada or whatever, and some of them it wasn't a case of you paid them, so you didn't need to pay monthly fees. It had a meter on it, and you put 50p in, and that gave you an extra number of hours, and that was that was basically how you paid your monthly rental of your TV. And I remember that.
Well, it's still going. I mean, I remember I saw the in fact going back only a couple of weeks now. If I do my maths right, less than that. I remember I saw live image of one of the planes going into Twin Towers on multiple TVs in a TV rental shop in Aylesbury. That's where I first saw it. I was shopping in Aylesbury, and there was rental TV stores even then, and that's where I first saw it. Haven't it?
See, that's what I'm saying. I grew up with the time where you had one TV, 3 channels. Before Channel 4, we got to watch and experience all the old black and whites that were on TV now. We got to experience them sitting with your parents, your brother, your sister, fighting. No, I don't want to watch that. I want to watch Star Trek. And we all had a remote control. Peter, turn it here. Okay, down. I would be up and down. Or it was my brother, or it was my sister, up and down, up and down. No, I don't like this, turn it over, up and down. And it was a click, click, click. And it's basically, I remember all that. But, old. What can I say? It's the fact is, we grew up with our parents' classic movies, and then our classics,
Mm-hmm.
which were entertaining. The movies we grew up with their parents watched, were great. Our stuff, more modern, just as great. And I think we grew up at the time where we had the best of both worlds.
Do you remember Saturday Night at the Movies on BBC
Yep.
One? That was a big thing for us.
It was. That's where I first saw them.
Yeah. Oh, I love that film.
It's one of my favourites.
And that noise. Yeah.
I've got I've got a picture. One of my somebody drew of me. I'm the guy in the ship, and he's shooting the thing. So that's me with the giant ant dragging me out. He's done that a picture of me.
The first film like that I saw was I stayed up with my mum and dad, and we watched It Came from Outer Space.
Seen that one?
And that with the with the gold. It looked like it was going through a goldfish, bottom of one of those goldfish.
Yeah, and it was the thing where it was like a big bug head, and it was like big crab arms.
Yeah.
But I mean, because my dad loved them, so I used to sit out and watch them. The old Hammer horrors. My mum loved them. I sat and watched them. Grew up with Boris Karloff, Bela Lugosi. Yeah, I mean,
Quatermass
in the pit. Oh. Perfect. We grew up with two eras of great movies and great.
Yeah, that's right, Darren.
Saturday movies off the floor. Aye.
Nice
to see you. Nice.
Yeah, I used to have that before the movie came on. It was that big, like a advert for it or prelude. Saturday night at the movie. Oh, you all sat down and waited. It was
Night of the Demons as well. But there was so many. That's what I'm saying. We grew up with the stuff, enjoying what our parents watched, what we loved, and some of us passing on to our kids. My three daughters are geeks. One of them's into anime. One of them's a big Harry Potter. The other one more musical, so she takes over the other side of the family because I couldn't actually. I can't play a triangle.
I'm just the same.
I'm as tone deaf as I'm hairy.
You're as tone deaf as Keir Starmer.
No, I don't think anybody's that bad. But it's the fact is,
well, leave Lego Man alone.
The fact is, my kids grew up watching the stuff I watched.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed it. My daughter, my youngest, she's a big Red Dwarf fan. Met Chris Barry. She loved it because she actually got away from him. I remember you, and so over the top. So, but it's things like that. Generations watched it. How many generations are going to watch the crap from now?
But it's not only that, the distribution is literally in everybody's hand these days. You don't watch TV together anymore.
Yeah, that's right.
But there's also the fact is my grandkids going to watch anything that my daughters or myself or my parents watched?
Well, knowing you, I know that will be a fact. They will see all the good classics.
I was one of the things that's always worried me is how long will DVD players be about?
Well, I know because it's going to be it's dying out.
Because I know that Blu-ray players are getting hold of it. They haven't come down in price much recently.
Fear not, physical media, Miranda, will be around. Just look at the renaissance that is happening at the moment. The Amiga 500s, the very early versions of home computers, like the BBC, what is called the BBC.
Still got my Amiga.
Yeah. My daughter actually
revived.
Yeah.
My wife says that I'm actually trying to encourage my grandson to be like me, and I says I don't know where she gets that answer.
Good and ready to go.
All ready to go.
Oh, bless.
He loves dressing up, so not my fault. It just so happened to be there, ready for me to buy. There was a Spider-Man one as well, but the mask was just a wee. And I thought, that's no Spider-Man.
No.
But it's one of those things. Our families, our kids, grandkids are not going to grow up with the same appreciation of programs.
Okay,
They're going to
Dan.
grow up with Pokemon because they grew up with Pokemon Go. They're going to grow up with Minecraft. Younger ones are going to grow up with Bluey and things like that. But as they get older, what are they going to move to? There's no going to be, it's all going to be rubbish, or it's going to be mindless stuff. It's going to be TV. It's going to be phone TV, where it's a case of,
Well, stuff already is,
that's it.
isn't it?
And that's literally what that's what it's aimed for. It's for
It
the Gen
won't
Z
surprise me if
generation.
we're soon gonna get TikTok-style kind of films, and I hate to give the idea out there to the internet now, but
Well, we
it
already,
wouldn't
we're
surprise
already
me
getting
within
there.
the next 5 years we're gonna see what they call a TikTok-style film. It's gonna be a film, but it's gonna be maximum 20 minutes long, and they're gonna try and cram
Oh, please.
everything a
They're
feature-length
already
film
been
should
doing
have
that.
in there.
You look at YouTube, all these big long videos. What's their
And-
what are they pushing? Shorts.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to, because a short they can get advertising wise for a short which is a minute, they can have an advert in each short. Whereas if they've got a video for 2 hours, they maybe have 2-3 adverts in it.
Oh, they put more than that in the
Uh,
minute.
Yeah, I
you
mean,
you
no, but-
wish. My ad
No, what
blocker
I'm
tells
saying
me I
is-
get about 15 ads an hour.
Oh God,
I-
yeah.
I-
It's
I
getting
get-
worse.
Yep.
Do you know how to do it? Duck go. You can tell it to
Yeah,
play
no,
it on its
I'm using
offline.
all the browsers and the blockers, but my blockers also keeps a log and saying they tried to show you this, and that's where I'm getting the number 15
No.
per hour.
DuckDuckGo, you can play it on the DuckDuckGo player, and it plays without adverts. If somebody's locked into an advert, then it says you have to watch this on YouTube. So you have to just click a button, and it takes you to the YouTube. Watch it with the advert. But 99% of my stuff, it's the DuckDuck player, so I get 0 adverts.
I get 0 adverts too. It's just I get the log. It tried to show you an advert.
No,
We stopped.
I don't even get that. I just literally get the program.
So
No
what? So
one-
They're memory holding it, but you don't see it. It doesn't affect you. It doesn't affect me either on the blockers I have. I don't even notice it unless I go in and look.
It's not a blocker. It's the actual player, which is the DuckDuckGo built-in player, which you tell it to play. It's only YouTube. It'll take you the YouTube thing and just play the DuckDuck player, and it's just the program itself.
Does the Duck player show YouTube or not? Or is that when you have to go to YouTube?
No. I'll show you. All right. This one. Right. Share the screen. This will be the last thing I'll need to do because I'll need to actually go.
Yeah,
Right.
we were gonna quit about 12 minutes ago. So
I know. Right. Right. So there's the video, right, of us. Right. That's it there. However, that's it on YouTube, right?
All right.
So if I go here, go back there. That's that's it on YouTube, right? And it basically just plays it. No adverts, nothing. So I could watch Friday Night Tights now from last night. It just opens it straight in that. No adverts. If there's certain things that's got the adverts locked in, like maybe the channel's locked in so they force an advert, then it will come up right in the center and say this program requires to be watched on YouTube. So you press the button down at the bottom here. You press the button here, and it just takes you to the YouTube channel to watch the program. Simple as that.
I guess I use
So
DuckDuckGo
it's
as a
basically
search engine rather than a browser.
DuckDuckGo is the browser, and it's got the built-in thing. And 99.9% of the time, I watch stuff, no ads.
Oh, right. Definitely got to look into that.
Definitely.
Unfortunately, it doesn't work on Rumble, so it's basically just YouTube. It's got it built in for, and it's great. I can't watch a load of stuff, no ad built in. So can't complain. Anyway, boys and girls, lads and lassies, thank you very much for joining me in the last one. It'll be handed over to
Best wishes.
Baron AWK and Jim the Viking with a side of Archer Colin and Miranda. From now on, I believe Alec is going to be what the class is supervising, as in feet up, doing feck all, and sitting in the background. And Jim will be
No
running the
change there then.
channel. And Jim will be running the channel. So, Jim, Good luck in the future, boys and girls.
Bye.
Remember,
Bye,
we're
Peter.
not old. We're classic.
We
Classic.
are.
Have a
Good
good
night
one.
from me.
And we will be rounding off everybody here now. I see we're reaching almost 2.5 hours again. So whilst PJ is quietly sneaking out, is anyone having anything to mention? Are they up to anything? Is there anything they're going to share on social media?
Well, in a couple of weeks' time, I'll be going to France for a week.
Ooh,
to meet
nice.
to a place about 30 miles north of Limoges, where my sister lives. And so that'd be a break away from social media for a bit. So I shall be enjoying that.
Don't forget to take your bow if you're going to France. All English when you need to France to take a bow.
Well, my sister did say you could go on the Richard the Lionheart tour. It goes around that area. So,
Oh, wow.
So I'd like. She's got plenty of spare rooms. If you, yeah, it used to be a small family hotel.
Oh,
So
right.
7 bedrooms, 7 bathrooms. So
Nice.
yeah, it's. So I'm gonna go. Yeah, take my bow, go on a chevauchée.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Well, it sounds really lovely, and I think it's just before the winter time will hit, so
Yeah.
you're probably going to get some good landscape sceneries and all that.
Oh,
I'm not sure. Yeah.
Mm.
What about you, Colin?
I'm not. I will be about on. I should probably be on the father stream. I tend to be in chats for Mr. Brown and the rabbi usually.
Good.
That's about
Right.
it.
And you, Alex?
Well, me and Colin be back with Monday night with FFSI on the 6th of October.
That sounds
So-
really good.
But anyway, before we go, we will be back in November. Gives us a month off, wouldn't it, Jim? Just to have a think what we got planned.
Yeah.
But anyway, before we go, I am going to talk about my Thunderbirds review today. It was
Okay.
absolutely fascinating. See what I did there?